Yo, YBBK here. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the new Zoom 75 from Meletrix Studios. Here's a quick rundown. As the name suggests, it features a 75% layout, gasket mounting, hot swap, optional tri-mode PCB, gimmick via support, and a unique 2U modular design on the upper right, allowing for your choice of a rotary encoder, 2 keys, magnetic badge, or customizable LCD screen. As for personalization, there are 19 case colors, 4 being special editions, 9 weight finishes, and 13 stunning backglass options. Being said, the base kit starts at 179 USD. Unfortunately, the direct group buy has already ended, but I've been told that there's a possibility of round 2 in the near future. Before we continue, a quick shout out to our sponsor, PCBWay. As your one-stop shop for all things DIY tech, PCBWay is a leader in PCB manufacturing, offering advanced prototyping, manufacturing, assembly, and population services. They specialize in custom PCBs, including flexible or rigid or multi-layered variations, and they have a wide range of additional services, including CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection molding. With many sub-options available under each service, PCBWay allows you to customize your project to fit your specific needs. For instance, they offer various materials, finishes, and precision levels for CNC machining. Their website and ordering process are user-friendly, and the pricing is highly competitive. Plus, they're currently offering up to 60% off your next project. If you don't want to miss out on this offer or want to learn more, check out the link to their website in the description. Anyways, back to the video. A quick note before the unboxing, what I have in the video is a review unit, so there will be certain differences compared to the actual production ones. I'll be sure to mention these points. Right, so the box itself features some cool art, which is a nice change from the typical plain cardboard on most other boards. On top are the 4 modules mentioned earlier. Keep in mind, the kit will come default with a rotary encoder, but the other modules will be optional add-ons. Here's a quick look at the rotary encoder kit. It includes a color match frame, the encoder itself, and a JST cable. For the badge kit, it includes your choice from 11 different designs, and a magnetic mount. This makes swapping out badges a quick and simple process. As for the 2 keys kit, it's what the name suggests, a 2-key PCB allowing for the usual 75% layout. And finally, we have the LCD module kit. Included is the LCD screen itself, a glass protective cover, metal frame, and a JST cable. For some reason, mine also included a knob, which I assume was supposed to be in the rotary encoder kit instead. With that out of the way, we can take a look at the actual kit itself. Everything you see from now on will be included by default. The unit I have here comes in a carrying case with a nice wave graphic. However, on the final units, it will just be fully black, with the design being an optional add-on. The upper compartment contains miscellaneous items such as screws, tools, and case feet. It also contains silicone gasket jackets used for mounting. The ones I have here are red, but the final version should be a dark blue or black. A braided coiled USB-C cable is also included. As for the bottom section, you'll find the main components. First being a polycarbonate plate featuring numerous flex sets for a soft typing feel. There are also other plate materials including aluminum, carbon fiber, POM, brass, and FR4, which can be bought as optional add-ons. Below that is a pour-on foams kit for the case, plate, PCB, and PE foam. Below is the PCB. The version I have here is dual mode, Bluetooth and wired. However, production PCBs will feature tri-mode, adding on 2.4 GHz connection. These wireless versions will feature flex cuts and no per key RGB. The wired versions, on the other hand, will not feature flex cuts, but retain per key RGB. Personally, I would recommend most people go for the wired version if suitable, as I believe the absence of flex cuts enhances the sound of the board, especially in no foams configuration. The gasket mount and plate flex cuts already provide plenty of bounce. Plus, it is cheaper along with per key RGB. Regardless of which version you get though, VIA and multi-layouts will be supported. The hot swap sockets are south-facing and from Kale. In addition, a full set of VU case stabilizers are included, along with a 2250 mAh battery for the wireless versions. I only received 1 battery, however production units will receive 2. And finally, up last is the case. The colorway I have here is a milky green. It features the same wedge design with a protruding back similar to the Zoom 65. Personally, I kinda wish they changed it up a little bit for a fresher look, but then again, many people are happy with it, so I guess it's reasonable to stick a design that's worked in the past. For the standard colors, nano coating is used, a process similar to spray coating. The texture is a little rougher than anodization, but it is consistent all around and results in a matte look. Whether you like this or not is completely subjective, just sharing my observations. The special colorways will feature the more typical anodized finish. The chassis is made of CNC aluminum and no noticeable defects or machining marks were found. On the back, the Zoom 75 features a 2-piece design. The combination I have here is the teal glass backplate along with the E-white weight. Overall, the design is relatively conservative compared to past boards, but does give the higher end premium look. The 4 case screws are hidden under where the rubber feet would sit, allowing for a cleaner look. Removing them, the case comes apart. Unscrewing 4 more screws, the internal stainless steel weight comes free. It's an optional add-on and weighs 358 grams. Obviously, it does add weight to the overall board, but it also reduces internal resonance, usually allowing for a cleaner, higher pitched sound. You can hear for yourself within the sound test later on. Another 4 screws later, the daughter board USB-C port comes free. Being separate from the PCB, this design allows for more flex once assembled. Anyways, I quickly installed the battery and reinstalled the weight as well. I begin the build with the stabilizers. I decide to go with TX stabilizers for the easy and minimal modding. After taking them apart, wire balancing, looping the housings, looping the wires, and reassembling, they're ready to be put back into the PCB. I then install the PE and plate foam for the current build. The switches I'll be using are the Mirandi switches sent over by Meletrix Studios. They come factory lube and are excellent stock. They are linear switches featuring a full pump housing, UHMW PE long pole stem, and an 18mm double stage spring. I actually genuinely really like these switches for the high pitched sound and defined bottom out. Anyways, I install these onto the PCB plate, which I then attach to the PCB. After sliding over the gasket jackets, I move on to installing the LCD screen. I simply position the glass cover and screw in the screen assembly. Once that's secured, I link it to the PCB with a JST cable. This process can be a bit finicky due to the limited cable length, so make sure to take your time. I then position the remaining PCB and case foam, connect the battery and daughter board, reassemble the case, and finally install the rubber feet. The last component, keycaps, will be a set from Create Keeps, which is sent over by ePubmaker. If you are interested, like all the other parts used so far, the links will be in the description. The caps are made of PPT, the legends are die sub, and they're also cherry profile. There are 192 keys for all layouts, including novelties and mag modifiers as well. The legends are sharp and consistent throughout, and the colors are vibrant. With them installed, the build is complete. Before I talk about the sound and feel, I wanted to go more in detail regarding the LCD screen. There are 13 preloaded screens including a status bar, typing speed animation, battery level, GPU and CPU temperature, fan speed, static image, weather, notifications, Wi-Fi speed, clock, date, and finally notes. I don't believe there's a way to link the computer related screens of my prototype, but this feature will work on the front end units. As for the static image and notes, you can customize those through the Pocket WooK app on your phone. It's relatively straightforward to use and links quickly. So future me here, when I was trying to get this functionality on camera, it seemed to not work. It would either fail to connect or continuously disconnect, which led to me not being able to use the app. What's surprising to me is that this did actually work before off camera, and I was able to connect to the keyboard and upload my own images with no issues. I assume this is probably due to the app still being in the beta stage, and hopefully this will be fixed once the production units are shipped to everybody. As for the sound, this board is one of the rare cases where I actually preferred the all foams configuration. This is mainly due to a flatter, duller sound without foams. I assume this is a result of the PCB flex sets. Even taping the flex sets only helped a marginal amount, and I was still left unsatisfied. However, this isn't to say that it sounds bad without foams. My main comparison is to the smaller Zoom 65, which genuinely impressed me in a similar configuration. In addition, this is solely based on my opinion, and your preference might differ. Either way, I would still recommend the non-flex set wired PCB instead, as it retains a lot more character in the sound regardless of foams or no foams. This brings me to the typing feel. I say that the default PC plate with its flex sets along with the gasket mount provides an adequate amount of flex. Even in an all foams configuration, I wouldn't worry about stiffness. In fact, with no foams, if pushed hard enough, the PCB assembly bottoms out against the case. Another thing I noticed is that the front lip of the board is taller than usual, so it might be more comfortable for some to use with a wrist rest. Other than that, the Zoom 75 is an interesting addition to the market of entry 75%. From my experience, compared to the QK75, I'd say that the Zoom 75 takes a more fun and a unique approach, especially with all the colors, design, and modular components, while the QK75 focuses on a more premium, traditional approach. Having tried both boards, I say you can't go wrong with either. Both are excellent options, and it really depends on your needs. Being said, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, or I was able to help you out, consider leaving a like or subscribing. It really helps the channel out.